Call to order, please. January 26, 2026, Belvedere City Council, Committee of the Whole. If the clerk would call the roll, please.
Albertini,
Here.
Brereton,
Here.
Fleury,
Here.
Frank,
Here.
Gramkowski, Hoynes,
Here.
McGee,
Here.
Montalbano,
Here.
Peterson,
Here.
Stevens.
Here.
10 present.
We have public comment, and we have no one registered. And public forum, there is none. Item number 1, public safety unfinished business, there is none. Public safety new business, we do have item A, police department. Chief Woody, please.
Thank you, Alderman Peterson. Since the police department's last update, we've had a swearing in of 3 new officers on December 23rd. Officers Admonson, Sampson, and Drop, who are currently at Sauk Valley and Dixon attending Basic Academy. And I just want to thank all those that were able to attend that. That brings our staffing levels up to 43, leaving us with 1 opening in order to get to our authorized strength. In addition to the 3 that we have at Basic, we have an additional 5 officers in different stages of the FTO program. We also have 2 officers still on leave. We interviewed a lateral applicant and are in the process of conducting a background on him. We'll be conducting 4 entry-level interviews this week as well. Monica Hernandez was hired beginning of January to replace Maria Casas as our newest administrative assistant to investigations. She has a background in the medical field with patient accounts administration with UW Health as well as Crusader Clinic. That'd be the end of my report for this month, and I'll answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Chief. Any questions or comments for Chief Woody? Okay, thank you, Chief. We have item B, then Fire Department update. Chief Shadle, please.
Thank you, sir. In the past 30 days, the fire department has responded to 304 calls. So something that's a little bit different in 2026, the actual federal reporting system that we report all our incidents to changed from NFIRS to NERIS. And so NFIRS had been around since 1974, I think, in its current form, and it did become electronic, thank goodness, but other than that, it remained unchanged until just now. So the data comes and is marked slightly differently, like the incident types have all changed and things like that. So it'll sound the same, but it'll sound slightly different. So the most interesting thing about that is that the one letter missing is the F for fire. And so it went from the National Fire Incident Reporting System to the National Emergency Incident Reporting System. And it's real time, so before we'd only be able to see the reports like 40 minutes or 40 days afterwards. So there's a lot of enhancements in this, but it's used nationwide through FEMA. All the fire departments and ambulance companies report to it of all their incidents. So I just thought you'd appreciate that little background there. So of the 304 incidents, we did respond to 7 fires. 4 of those were structure fires. 1 was a room and contents fire. Of those fires, 1 of them was in Belvedere, and then the other ones were mutual aid out of town. So hazardous situations, there were 21 of them. That includes 2 power lines down, 3 electrical hazards, 9 gas leaks, and 1 carbon monoxide release. So it was really good to see. I was concerned with how extremely cold it was that we'd have more carbon monoxide issues with furnaces running overtime and things like that. So we didn't see that. Medical calls, 193 of those. Some of the ones that were more frequent, breathing issues, 12 seizures, 1 stroke, 3 unconscious victims, 8 with altered mental status. Something interesting is that falls, there was 26 or 8.55%, 10 motor vehicle collisions. But then there's another category, and we're just all the firefighters and myself are working on learning it too, but lift assist, we had 28 of those. So almost 20% of our calls were either falls or lift assist. Falls probably with the injury. That makes a lot of sense with all the snow and ice. So those are expected to be elevated. 1 rescue and 2 law enforcement support, round out the 304. So of those, we had 162 EMS transports to local hospitals. Something interesting, since the ambulances have been out, we've transported 5,437 patients. So I saw that today and I was like, that's quite a bit. Quite a bit. As far as revenue and expenditures for the ambulance division, revenue is $947,856. Expenditures are $1,411,289 with a net cost of $463,433. And the last thing I wanted to update you guys on is Station 2 flooring refinish. We just submitted a request for proposals to do the last stage of the construction on the concrete. If you remember at Station 2, the drain trenches were cut out in the concrete and put back in, and the next step is to then grind the floor and then re-epoxy it. And appreciate your attention, and that concludes my report. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Chief. I'm glad to see that you haven't had a whole lot of calls for space heater fires.
Correct. That is very good to see. A lot of alternate heating, a lot of space heaters in use, electric blankets. So we'll knock on wood and keep hoping that people are staying safe.
Any questions or comments for Chief Shadle? Very good. Thank you, Chief. And then you want to take the transition compliance reporting issue?
Yes, sir. So in your packet, you guys will notice the request. So Bricer Compliance Engine is an electronic means to reach out to area businesses, and then the contractors submit their annual sprinkler tests and fire alarm tests. And so it's all compliance. We use it, Public Works uses it for backflow preventers. And we, however, with First Due, which is our incident reporting, our records management software, it's universal. It touches almost every aspect of what we do. They have that same exact service, but the benefit is that it populates the data directly into our inspection side of First Due. So now there isn't actually a cost to the city for this service. The service makes revenue through submissions. So when a business or a sprinkler contractor submits a report, they pay $20 for the submission. And so that then is the cost that a business would require to submit those. So with this solution, it will actually be less expensive for businesses who are submitting more than one report. So if you're submitting 2 or more reports, it's still just a single submission fee. So with all those benefits, I am requesting that we authorize the termination of the Bricer Compliance Engine Agreement and request authorization to enter into an agreement with First Due for compliance reporting services.
Is there a motion to that effect? Here we have a motion by Alderman Hoynes and a second by Alderperson Gramkowski. Motion's open for debate. Any questions? Alderperson Frank?
Thank you. So, did you say there was a cost?
So there's no cost to the city. The cost for the service is paid by the businesses who pay the contractors to submit those. Yep.
Okay, because I highlighted that. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
Any other questions? Hearing none, we have a motion and second on the floor then to authorize termination of the Brycer Compliance Engine Agreement and authorization to enter an agreement with First Due for compliance reporting services. As many as are in favor of the motion as stated, will say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Motion's carried.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Chief. Then we have item 3, Finance and Personnel, unfinished business. We have none. Item 4, Finance and Personnel, new business. Item A, Finance Department, update. And from Director Turnipseed, please.
Thank you. I would like to remind City Council and department heads, the budget work session is scheduled for Saturday, February 21st at 8:30 a.m. here at City Hall. Please let me know if you can attend. That does conclude my update, and if anybody has any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them.
Any questions, comments? Okay, thank you. And item B, an Eagle Scout donation.
Yes, the City of Belvedere has received an additional contribution in the amount of $1,000 in support of the Eagle Scout project. This comes from Midwest Refrigerated Services. I would ask for a motion to accept this donation in the amount of $1,000 from Midwest Refrigerated Services for the Eagle Scout project Santa Claus House.
Is there a motion to that effect? We have a motion by Alderman Stevens and a second by Alderman Fleury. Thank you. Is there any debate, any questions? Alderman Manobano.
There was still some funding needed, and that was Midwest to give that to us at the end of December.
This backfills the funding. Do you know how much is unfunded yet as far as the city share of it?
There probably, it's not all done yet, there was some credits going back and forth, but I believe there's gonna be about $300 left in that checking account.
That's pretty fair. Yeah, very good. Is there any other debate, any other questions? So, hearing none, we have a motion and a second on the floor to accept a donation in the amount of $1,000 from Midwest Refrigerated Services, Inc. for the Eagle Scout project on the Santa Claus House. All those in favor of the motion as stated, say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Okay, the motion's carried. And lastly, then, item C, the electricity for street lighting. Director Turnipseed.
Sure, attached, please find a resolution for the city's participation in the NIMAC bid process to enter into a contract with the lowest bidder for electricity for the city facilities and streetlights. Your memo does contain the accounts that will be part of that bid. I would request a motion to forward a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract for the purchase of electricity from the lowest cost electricity provider for the purpose of street lighting and commercial accounts through the Northern Illinois Municipal Electric Collaborative bid process to City Council.
Is there a motion to that effect? We have a motion by Alderman Hoyas, a second by Alderman Manobano. Is there any debate and any questions for Director Turnipseed? Alderperson Frank.
Thank you. Is this something that we do yearly, or is this something that we did like 3 years ago?
It depends. Last time we only signed a contract for 1 year, so yes, we did this one last year.
Okay, thank you.
Alderman Stevens.
Would it be too soon to put in the new well in there also?
Yes, it's got to be an existing usable service, so as soon as that comes up online, then it'll be added.
Is there any other debate? Okay, then hearing none, we have a motion and second on the floor to forward a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract for the purchase of electricity from the lowest cost electricity provider for the purpose of street lighting and commercial accounts through the Northern Illinois Municipal Electric Collaborative bid process to City Council. As many as are in favor of the motion as stated will say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? And the motion's carried. Very good. Thank you, Director Turnipseed. We have item 5, other unfinished business. There is none. Other new business, we have item A, amendment of Chapter 34, elections. City Attorney Drella.
There's actually a fairly explanatory short memo in your packets. This does not change any ward boundaries whatsoever. It just has our code comply with all the annexations we've done in those annexation ordinances. We added the territory to wards already, so this is just purely cleanup.
Any questions, any comments? City Attorney? Hearing none, we have a motion, we need a motion. We need a motion and a second, a motion from Alderman Stevens. And we have a second from Alderman Albertini, and the motion's open for debate. Any questions? Okay, hearing none, there's a motion and second on the floor to amend Chapter 34 of the City of Belvedere Municipal Code to make the ward descriptions contained therein consistent with actual ward boundaries since incorporation of the newly annexed territory. All those in favor of the motion as stated, say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? The motion's carried. Do we have item B, proposals for IT and VoIP phone services for the City of Belvedere? And again, City Attorney Drella.
And as I indicated in your packets, because the mayor is not here and given his discussions on this previously, he's asking that this item be postponed to the February 9th, 2026 committee meeting so he can be present.
Is there a motion to that effect? We have a motion by Alderperson Gramkowski, and a second by Alderman McGee. Motion's open to debate. Okay, hearing none, we have a motion second on the floor. Postpone the IT and VoIP agenda item 1/26/2026 to February 9th, 2026. All those in favor of the motion as stated, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? The motion's carried. Here we have a resolution authorizing certain annual parades for 2026. And it's self-explanatory. If they'd be the council's preference, it could be read, otherwise they're listed as listed on the back page, and there are 7 that we're officially approving as of this point. But if there's no desire to have the resolution read in its entirety, we'll take a motion that we forward to the city council. Is there any motion to that effect? We have a motion by Alderman Montalbano and a second by Alderman Fleury. The motion's open to debate. Hearing none, we have a motion second on the floor to forward to the council a resolution authorizing the listed annual parades for 2026. As many as are in favor of the motion as stated will say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? The motion's carried. And next we have item D, the Federal Railroad Administration Grant Agreement. And we have Director Anderson to address this.
Thank you. Memo in your packet, we have received our grant agreement from the Federal Railroad Administration in the amount of $1,666,279 in Creasy funds for the Phase 1 engineering and environmental review for our Appleton Road grade separation project. I would recommend approval of the grant agreement from the Federal Railroad Administration in the amount of $1,666,279 and authorize the mayor to sign all documents required for the grant award.
Is there a motion to that effect? We have a motion by Alderman Hoynes and a second by Alderman Stevens. The motion's open to debate. And any questions? I could only add, Brent, way to go. It's fantastic with the IDOT money being leveraged into this. It's pretty outstanding.
Correct. So as you recall, we did get awarded IDOT money in the amount of about $416,000 for the remaining balance to do the preliminary engineering work on this project. We are making application for additional FRA funding for the design engineering component, and that application will be submitted fairly soon. And again, notice this work is planned to be done by March of '27. So it's a long process for the engineering to get to the point where we're hopefully ready for construction.
Very, very good. It's been due since 1966, but We're a few years behind, but we'll get there. Is there any other debate, any other questions? Hearing none, we have a motion and second on the floor then to recommend approval of the grant agreement from the FRA in the amount of $1,666,279 for Phase 1 engineering and environmental review of the Appleton Road grade separation project, and to authorize the mayor to sign all documents required for the grant award. All those in favor of the motion as stated, say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? The motion's carried. And then lastly, item E, parking lot number 7 expansion and enhancement grant project bid tabulation. And again, Director Anderson, please.
Memo in your packets. We finally opened the bids. I shouldn't say we, IDOT opened the bids for our parking lot 7 expansion and enhancement grant project for the reconstruction of municipal parking lot 7 in the Kishwaukee Overlook. Low bidder was Fisher Excavating in the amount of $1,380,432.25. I would recommend approval of the low bid from Fisher Excavating in that amount to complete the parking lot 7 and Kishwaukee Overlook project, and concur with IDOT on the award of this project to Fisher Excavating. This work will be paid for from grant funds and capital funds.
Is there a motion to that effect? We have a motion by Alderman Stevens, a second by Alderman Hoynes. Motion's open for debate. Any questions for Director Anderson? Alderman Byrd.
Thank you. Question for whoever. So I see here at the end, last statement, this work will be paid for from grant funds and capital funds. Refresher here, then how much are we responsible for?
So we've got ITEP grant from IDOT, $216,000, I think it was, roughly. We have DCEO grant funds in the amount of little over $600,000. Total, now that we have the bid here, plus the engineering, design, and inspection services required, total project cost is about $1.5 million. So I think it's about $800,000 of, a little over $800,000 in grant funds and about $700,000 of our funds.
Thank you.
Thank you. How will the capital funds balance look then in general terms, Director Turnipseed, once this is paid?
Well, this will be part of your fiscal year 27 budget, the rest of this. Are you asking, is this going into?
So none of this will come out of the fiscal year 26?
Not at this time.
Okay.
No, the only thing that's been authorized so far is the engineering work that's been done to get us to this point. As you recall, council probably about 3 or 4 months ago approved an additional $30,000 on the engineering side because of the additional work that had to be done in order to acquire the federal funds, make the federal requirements to get that federal grant.
Okay. Okay, good. Is there any other questions? Any other comments? Okay, hearing none, we have a motion and second on the floor to approve the low bid from Fisher Excavating in the amount of $1,380,432.25 to complete the parking lot number 7 in Kishwaukee Overlook project, and concur with IDOT on the award of the project to Fisher Excavating. All those in favor of the motion as stated, say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? No. Okay, we have a motion carried with Alderman Brereton opposing. And motion's carried. And we have no other business on the agenda for tonight. Is there a motion for adjournment? We have a motion by Alderman Albertini, a second by Alderman Hoynes. All those in favor of the motion to adjourn, say aye. Aye. And any opposed? Motion's carried. You show us adjourned.